Hi everyone, my name is Dawson and I own a dental marketing company that helps dentists increase their Invisalign and implant production. If that's something you're interested in, feel free to click on the link below this video. It's in the comment section as well, and schedule a free call with me and my team. Anyway, let's jump right into the video. Today we're talking about how to get new patients with Facebook ads. Now, if you're a dentist and you tried Facebook ads before, maybe you want a refresher course, maybe you got burned in the past by a marketing agency and you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this myself, I'm gonna figure it out. For whatever reason, we're gonna go over the overarching structure of Facebook ads, how it's laid out, what to look for, as well as the strategies and what you need to pay attention to in order to be successful. If you have any questions throughout the video, drop them in the comment section below and let's jump right into it. So how is Facebook ads laid out? It's broken down into campaigns, ad sets, and then ads. Ads fit into ad sets. You can have multiple different ad sets and those fit into the campaign. We're gonna walk through each of these sections and really break down what to look for and what's important. Let's start with campaigns first. All right, everyone, welcome to Facebook ads. So as you can see, we have campaigns here, ad sets, and then ads. So we're gonna go through what a campaign would look like when you're setting it up for your practice. This is a demo one that I'll have in here that I can come back to for reference, but for now, let's just create a new campaign. So we're gonna hit that green button. And first thing that we wanna do is pick an objective. So as you can see, there's different categories. There's 3 different categories and different objectives. So if you're not sure what one of these means, just come over to the eye. It's going to tell you. Basically, the way this is laid out is picking one of these objectives. You're telling Facebook, go cast the widest net. We want to get our ads in front of as many people as possible. On the flip side, this conversions category, we're telling Facebook, we want you to find people that are highly likely to take a specific action. So when it comes to marketing for a dental practice, the only campaigns you really want to use are traffic, conversions, and then depending on if you have a video views, and if you're sending traffic to a messenger bot, then you're going to pick messages. So let's, for this sake, we'll pick traffic. We can name it, we'll name it Peter's Practice. I like that. Okay, Peter's Practice. So here it's going to give us some options to be a little more specific. So first, special ads category, we're not running any political ads, or we're not running ads for medical marijuana or something else. So we're going to skip that section. Campaign details, you can leave this as so. Nothing to dramatically affect your campaign. And of course, everything that I'm saying is specific to local-based marketing for dentists. If this is an e-commerce campaign, then we're going to do something totally different. But what you might want to change is just add a campaign spending limit. And that's pretty much all you need to do for the campaign section. Let's jump on to creating an ad set. All right, so once we have clicked continue on our campaign section, it's going to bring us over here. So this is our ad set. So this is where we create targeting. This is where we tell Facebook, show ads in this area for these types of people. So first thing to note, we can name our ad set. Let's call it, I usually name the ad set whatever the objective of the ad set is. So for this one, I usually put the mile radius around the practice as well as who we're going after. So before we get ahead of ourselves, let's come back to that later. So as you can see, traffic, this is where we're going to send the people after they click on our ad. So if we're going to send them to a website and Messenger. I don't suggest WhatsApp, don't do calls, and I don't know what app you would send them to. So just website or a Messenger there. So after we select this, then we're going to set up a budget. So depending on what your budget is, feel free to throw that in. Just keep in mind that if you put an overall budget in the campaign section, the ads are going to turn off after that threshold is met. So just keep that in mind. Start date, end date, not very important. You can have your ads running all the time, which is what I suggest. A lot of people are on their phones later at night. We actually get most of our leads anywhere from 10 p.m. to midnight. So just keep that in mind. So I suggest running them around the clock. So this section here, audience, this is where the rubber meets the road. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in the address for a practice. We're going to set up the age and then go over targeting. So for our intents and purposes, the age and the gender is going to depend on what service you're going after. In general, women determine 90% of the any type of dental decision. So highly suggest just going after women anywhere from the ages of 30 to 65. And of course, that's just a ballpark number. If you're in a community where that's older or younger, then obviously you would change that. But in general, women from 30 to 65. And this is 65 plus, so what I usually do is just do 64. And if you're like 64 is way too old, it's not, but you know what I mean, then you can adjust that as such. And then for practice, sometimes the Facebook address system, I had this happen to me a couple days ago. It's not very good at specific addresses. It's usually better just to drop a pin. So we're going to pick somewhere in Lincoln, Nebraska. Say we're right here. Boom. There we go. So in terms of the radius, this is going to depend on how densely populated the area is for Lincoln. It's less densely populated. As you can see, this is our estimated audience size. 10 miles is pretty large in comparison to if you were in a suburb of New York or somewhere else. But for this, you can experiment between 10 and 15 miles. So we have that. Automatic placements, this just depends on the aspect ratio or the size of your image or video. It's usually best to let Facebook be Facebook and know where people are going to see the content that's best. I like to give Facebook the power in that sense. In terms of this, optimization for ad delivery, what I usually change here is I change it to landing page views, because we want to optimize for people that actually get to the website instead of people that just click on the ad itself. So this concludes the ad set portion. Another thing to keep in mind is I like to keep it organized by naming the ad set whatever I'm marketing. So in this case, 10 miles, women 30 to 64. So we'll change that to the ad set name. Women 30 to 64. Perfect. So that's usually what I'll call the ad set. All right. So that was targeting from a 30,000 foot view. I know some of you are more sophisticated than this. So I want to kind of do a little masterclass on the audience section. This is why advertisers use Facebook in the first place for this feature here for custom audiences. If you had an e-commerce store, you would do a lot of number crunching. You would have a lot of lists that you put together and essentially create a perfect customer profile. Now, because it's a local-based business, we don't have as many people to get information from, meaning we can't be as specific with our targeting, which is fine. It makes our job a little bit easier. You don't have to worry about detailed targeting here. Again, for e-commerce, I've heard stories of someone selling, I think it was sunglasses, and they found out their target market liked the pages frozen food as well as Walmart. And that's just, you think about how many pages there are on Facebook and the amount of data to narrow that down. And that was a store that was making, I think, at least $100,000 per month, at least in revenue. So people go crazy with these detailed targeting as well as this list up here. But let's keep this specific to a dental marketing. So for this detailed targeting, if someone says target people that look after or like the page like teeth whitening or something else, it's not going to make much of a difference. I think they're really just saying that to come off a little more sophisticated, be a little more savvy in the Facebook ad space, but this is not necessary. The thing that you really want to focus on if you're been running ads on Facebook for a while, you want to improve your results, is you want to get a patient list. You want to get a patient list of everyone that's gotten Invisalign treatment from you or everyone that's gotten implant treatment. If you have that list and you are able to put the first name, last name, and phone number and email into Facebook in this section here, then this is going to work wonders. Some of you may be saying, does this violate HIPAA? No, it does not, because we're not marketing directly to those people. We're giving Facebook this list and telling them to find people that are similar. So we're basically taking that information, making a perfect patient avatar, and then Facebook is trying to match that with people within that area. So that's the most, in my opinion, sophisticated thing you can do when it comes to this targeting section. Again, that's not necessary, but if you want to go the extra mile, get that extra 10%, then that's what I highly recommend. Another thing to keep in mind is having separate ad sets for retargeting. This is where you can pair Google Ads with Facebook. In your targeting section, what you can do is set up a Facebook pixel on the page that you have your people going from Google. And what you can do is with that Facebook pixel, put that here in the custom audience section. You don't put the pixel there, but you put the audience there. I can make a separate video on that. There's also thousands of videos on YouTube on how to do that. But what you're telling Facebook to do is find those people that visited that site. So someone looks you up on Google, they come to that site and maybe they just got pulled away. They had to do something else. Then you can show them ads on Facebook through that feature. Very powerful, very common way to retarget. But unfortunately with iOS 14, there's been a lot of restrictions on what information can be shared with Facebook. One way to improve your results for retargeting, and what I recommend, is running a retargeting campaign for a video percentage watched. And so if you have a video and people watch 50% of it, retargeting those people, show them the same ad or a different ad is going to improve your results over just on top of the landing page, if that makes sense. So I like to do multiple types of retargeting. Again, that's very advanced, not necessarily if you're just getting started, if you're just trying to get some boots on the ground, but wanted to mention that. This next section is where we set up our ads. So this is where we're going to upload the actual image or video. And if you haven't noticed already, Facebook is very picky. If something isn't quite right, then it's going to let you know about it. So if you don't have the URL in here, it's going to let you know. But don't worry, that can be changed as soon as we put something in here or in there. One thing to keep in mind, if any of you know of Pareto's principle, it's this famous psychologist. He was growing tomatoes. He figured out 20% of his tomatoes produced 80% of his tomatoes, and the other 80% only produced 20%. If that's confusing, feel free to look up a quick diagram. This is the 20% that's going to produce 80% of the results. I recommend you spend the most time, the most energy really tweaking, really figuring out what to show on here. Let me just kind of run through the basics and then we'll do a masterclass after. So in terms of this, very simple. You upload your image or video, text, headline, description. If you think about the eye path for how someone's going to look at your ad, first thing that they're going to look at is the creative, the image, the video. The second thing is going to be the headline, which is directly below, and then they're going to read the copy above it. So prioritize your work, prioritize everything around that. Spend the most time on the creative, second most amount of time on the headline, and then the primary text, and then you can throw in the description in there as well. A website, this is where we tell Facebook, send people to this link, or if we had a messenger bot, then we would hook it up here if that's the case. Not too much after this. Of course, for website events, connect your pixel down here. Pretty basic in terms of just getting it set up. All right, now that we got the basics out of the way, let's really dive into what you need to do in order to be successful. In my opinion, one of the best books that came out recently about marketing is called Hook Point by Brandon Kane. He was a Taylor Swift's social media manager. He's also worked for Paramount Pictures and MTV in terms of their marketing world, and he owns his own agency where he helps. His biggest thing from the book is you need to have a hook point, meaning you need to separate yourself from other posts on the platform. Next time you're in public, I say this all the time, pay attention to how fast people are scrolling on their phones. Your ad is going to be right next to people that had someone that just got engaged, their high school best friend, pictures of their neighbor's dog that are super cute. You're competing for their attention. So what you really want to pay attention to is what can you present? What can you have that's valuable, that's going to get someone to stop scrolling and to pay attention? Hence, hook point. What's that hook point? So right now in the dental marketing world, this is super valuable. I should be having you pay for that. I'm just kidding. I should, but I won't because I don't know. Maybe I will later. Right now, the hook points that are working for dental marketing are the top questions to ask your blank Invisalign implant provider, and any type of content that is educating the patient on the buying process. So for example, for Invisalign, if you make a video about candid versus coming into a practice and you explain why it's better to come into a practice, obviously it's going to be biased, so you want to think about how to structure that. But videos like that, videos educating the patient on the buying process, that's going to be valuable. That's going to be a hook point, something that grips them, gets them to pay attention to what you have to say. The reason this works is because it's focused on them. They maybe aren't sure what to look for when coming into a practice, whether it's getting a single implant or a half arch. They don't really know how to vet their dentist. Having that information in video form, boom, right there on Facebook for them to consume, that's valuable. That's patient-focused content. I know I went on a little bit of a rant there, but bear with me. Those are the hook points that are working right now. I don't know if those are going to work a year from now. They could work for 5 years. We're not sure. But the traditional stock photo of a dental implant and a basic caption saying, come in for a free consultation, that doesn't provoke any response. No one feels that. So marketing, just as in any industry, is adapting. It's adapting in dental marketing. Please do that. Please focus on what's that cutting edge, what people aren't doing, and you're going to get results because of it. Thank you so much for watching the video. Hopefully you got some value out of it. Feel free to drop a like, leave any comments that you have, and consider subscribing. If you want me to run ads for your implant or Invisalign production, feel free to check out the information in the link below. Until next time, I will see you later.